Hi, yes. So we're going to progress yesterday's exercise. We're going to do a single leg stretch, but I'm going to go through a progression. I did mention it briefly in the other video, but we're going to work through that. It's quite a tricky progression actually. It's a lot more difficult than it looks. So I think with this exercise, always start with the easier version and then progress yourself up to the more difficult version. I might need to assist Hats with the more difficult progression of this exercise. And then I'll run through kind of things to look out for in terms of cheats and what you may do to try and compensate for any weaknesses that you've got. So as I say, it's a single leg stretch with a progression. The progression really challenges the corset. So we're always going back to the corset muscles, those oblique muscles here that stabilise the pelvis from side to side. So important for riders. And I've already been through why it's so important. You know, it's basically our control as riders on our pelvic stability. So whether we're going in a straight line, we're changing direction, we're doing some lateral work, we're jumping, anything, we need to be able to control whether we're sitting more through or transferring more weight through the right sitting bone versus the left sitting bone, or if we want to be completely equal. So we've got to be able to control that. We don't want our pelvis falling out to the side, falling in, rotating. Then the shoulders end up doing funny things. You get a bit heavy through a contact. So that's why we're working on these exercises. So we're going to run through the slightly easier version of the exercise. So this is our start position and we know how to set that up. Again, what I'm going to ask Hats to do is have a hand on either side of the pelvis. So the idea of having a hand either side of the pelvis is you get some feedback and you know if you're moving the pelvis. With this exercise, there should be no movement of the pelvis or the spine. We should be able to balance the tray of drinks on that pelvis and we shouldn't spill any of those drinks. So that's always a good thing to remember. So we are using our deep spinal stabilising muscles as well as isolating different muscles that I will go through to stop the pelvis and the spine from moving when we're loading it. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves into our one leg stretch. You're going to keep the left foot on the floor. We take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, float this leg into tabletop. Inhale and hold. And exhale, straighten that leg away. Imagine you're turning a switch off on the wall in front. Okay, and we inhale, hold. So this is our start position. Now, as you breathe out, really slowly lower that right leg down towards the floor. Keep the knees straight, only as far as you're comfortable. And we inhale and hold. Now, we don't want to drop the right side of the pelvis. So we're going to tuck the tailbone. We're sliding the rib cage down, really nice. And we're keeping the right side of the pelvis to the ceiling. So now we're nice and level, yeah? So the temptation is, I'll talk quickly because this is tricky for Hats. The temptation is as you lower the leg, that side of the pelvis will fall to the floor. If we were riding, it would be rotating, okay? Or falling out to the side. So we've really got to think, okay, use that right corset to lift it to the ceiling. Good, and then bring that leg back up. Keep the knee straight, straight. That's it, well done, good. So let me just assist. So this is your start position. Don't be tempted to go back into tabletop. I see a lot of people do that. Unless you need a rest, that's fine. But that isn't your start position. This is your start position. Then you lower the leg down, you hold, tuck tailbone, rib cage down, right side of the pelvis up. Exhale up, inhale, hold, and exhale down. Inhale, tuck the tailbone, rib cage down, right side of the pelvis up, and exhale, start position. And you can see then, if you just relax that leg down, you can do 5 or 10 reps working from the single leg stretch and not coming back into tabletop unless you feel like you do need a rest. Okay, so that's the easier version of the exercise. The more difficult version is coming from tabletop. So we take a nice deep breath in. We exhale, float one leg into tabletop. We inhale, hold. Exhale, float the other leg up into tabletop. Good. Okay, so I'm just going to assist Hattie with this. So Hats, you're just going to rest your left leg on my leg, okay? So I'm going to let your right leg go. You got control of that? Lovely job. Well done. Okay, so we start from double tabletop. We take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, float push the right leg towards the wall in front. We inhale, hold, make sure we've got control of pelvis and rib cage. As you breathe out, slowly lower, right leg down towards the floor, really slowly. Good, and inhale, hold. Tuck tailbone, rib cage down, right side of the pelvis to the ceiling. And exhale back up. Remember to keep the knees straight. Okay, inhale, prepare. And once more, exhale down. Inhale, hold, tuck tailbone, ribcage down, right side of the pelvis up. Lovely, and back up. And hug your knees up into your chest and just have a bit of a rest. Awesome, good. So it is really difficult. It's a difficult exercise, isn't it? Really tricky. Do you want to relax down? Good job. So we're tucking the tailbone to get the lower tummy muscles working. We want rib cage down towards the hips. Imagine there's a spring and you're going to tighten that spring up. That gets the upper tummy muscles working. And by lifting the pelvis to the ceiling and leveling the pelvis, you're recruiting that corset muscle that we use a lot when we're riding. Okay, so this is challenging, guys. The things to watch out for is pelvis dropping to the floor, or the back arching away from the mat, or the rib cage flaring to the ceiling. So those are the three most common things that we're watching out for, okay? If you have any medical history, this exercise may not be appropriate for you. So if you're not sure, please feel free to send me a message. You can contact me via the Chaps Physio Facebook page or the Instagram page. Of course, feel free to give this a go. It's good, really good exercise. It's I think it's quite good fun. Film yourself if you want to, tag it. Post it on social media. Remember to tag Chaps Physio and of course, hashtag Team Chaps. Thank you very much.